Hey Leo, I hope that you guys are doing well. Welcome to your reading, The Harsh Truth that you may or may not be ready to hear. We're going to be taking a look to see the lie that you may be telling yourself. Then we're going to see the reality check moment, which is essentially the raw truth that you've maybe been avoiding. Then we're going to see the consequence if you ignore it. And then we're going to see the way out. So let me see. What lie is Leo telling themselves? The Nine of Cups reversed. The King of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles, and the King of Swords. Interesting. Sagittarius got two court cards as well, but they got it in feminine energy. So some of you may be a masculine. Tell me more about that Nine of Cups reversed. The Ten of Cups. I feel like you want more. I feel like you want a relationship, or you want a closer relationship, maybe with the one that you already have. And you may feel like making head over heart decisions, or you may feel like just being more logical about everything is going to be authentic to you, or is going to get you what you want, but it hasn't really served you thus far. So for some of you, you may have been playing detached, or something like that, playing detached, or just being more cold or whatever, and it's not actually getting you what you want. It's working against you. Why is that Eight of Pentacles the lie? What is the lie about that Eight of Pentacles? The Four of Wands. You think more work is going to bring you some level of freedom, you know, but I think that this is what you're dealing with under the surface. I think that what you really want is love. And I'm not saying that you don't want these other things, Leo. I'm not saying that, but I think that you've been mastering something for a while. I think that, maybe you've been working on your home or your business matters, or just a lot of financial matters, and you've been trying to like just be very stoic and go about your business, but you're hurting on the inside. And you may feel like, for some of you, I know this is very specific, but if you guys feel like all you're ever doing is working, like, I get it, right? Especially in these times, it's like we got to make a living, we got to do what we got to do, but man, people, um we tend to sometimes manifest our own sicknesses or diseases, because we suppress all of these emotions, or we don't deal with them, and we just try to act stoic, and we just try to move on, and whatever, and then it manifests as like cancer in our body, or and so, well, of course, I'm not saying you're going to get cancer, but I'm saying it can affect you to degrees that you don't even realize. Because I feel like what a lot of you want is acceptance. I feel like you want to feel supported, but again, there may be this detachment, or this focus on, purely financial matters, or maybe some of you guys just feel like you're used for that. And like, I get it, right? But there's nothing wrong with maybe how you've been showing up, right? So if you're somebody who, in love, maybe you lead with money. Okay, let's say it's that. And that's all well and good, right? Everybody loves the money. That's great. But what happens if you don't have that money? Or what happens if you can no longer give money or support someone with this money? Then what do they love? Right. And so sometimes when you lead with your hand instead of your heart, that's what people fall in love with, your hand, not your heart. And I feel like for a lot of you, there's something weighing on you that just feels heavy. You just feel heartbroken, I think. But I don't think that you show it. And I think that's killing you in some way. Okay. Not literally, but I feel like it's killing you a little bit. I feel like you need to go outside and touch grass and let yourself be loved like the little Leo that you are. You know what I'm saying? So let's see the reality check moment or the raw truth that you may be avoiding. The Fool. Sagittarius got that. Tell me more. The Queen of Wands reversed. Oh, is there a woman here? Because you're showing up as a masculine, in my opinion. The Page of Wands reversed. The Knight of Cups. I'm getting like sexual frustration for some reason on this. So we have the Fool, the Queen of Wands reversed, the Page of Wands reversed, and the Knight of Cups in the upright. I think you have a woman who's a little mad at you here. And you may blame this person. Okay. I'm not saying that they're blameless, okay, but you may be blaming this person, maybe rightfully so, right? I don't know your personal situation. Why is the Queen of Wands reversed? This may be reversed for some of you. Okay. Page of Cups. I thought so. God, Sagittarius kind of got something like this. Very similar. Yeah, it's this like very detached kind of demeanor that you have. And I think that you have a woman in your life who's upset because I feel like she wants love. She wants to offer you love, and maybe you feel like, "Oh, well, I am." It's like, "But are you though? Are you stuck in a certain mindset because it alleviates you from any kind of emotional connection or emotional fulfillment?" And really, if that is the case, then you have to ask yourself why you do that and where that comes from. Because romance isn't always like a Louis Vuitton purse. Romance isn't really like, well, I'm gonna wait for 3 days to text her just so she knows, or whatever it is, right? Whatever it is. Like sometimes it's just really showing up in vulnerability and trusting that it will be accepted. And if it doesn't, that's also okay. But I feel like somebody here wants to love and be loved. I feel like somebody here really admires you. And to be honest with you, you may think that the detachment or the leading with something else besides who you authentically are is gonna work, but I don't think so. I think the only thing that's gonna balance this out is you being vulnerable. And I think that you are, but it doesn't feel like true vulnerability. You're gonna be, I'm sorry. I know you're like probably yelling at the computer or the screen right now. But that's kind of what I'm getting. So let's see the consequence if you ignore this. The Hangman, you may have to end up letting something go because you were playing games. Okay, if you guys are playing games or because you were just determined to be looked at in a certain way, stop leading with your money or stop leading with that, whatever that is. The, oh, look what I got, or, I'll text her in 3 days or text him in 3 days or whatever. It's like, you're going to find yourself in a really awkward situation. Ace of Pentacles. It's going to ruin opportunities for you, and you're not going to realize it because you're going to become likely emotionally dysregulated or something. The Lovers. Sagittarius got this as well. So weird. Some of you maybe are dealing with one. How exactly would Leo suffer? Wow, Sagittarius got this. That's so creepy. So, paranoias, mental instabilities, dark night of the soul, wanting to isolate all the time, or you're going to put yourself there by omission, or you're going to, be working so much, or you're going to detach from everyone, that you're going to end up just feeling like alone and like a failure a little bit, and I hate to say that because it sounds so crappy. Tell me about that hangman. What would be the sacrifice? The Knight of Swords. I feel like it would be your mental health. I think that you have to realize that you don't have all of the answers. And just because you lead with a more logical or practical mind doesn't always necessarily mean that you're right. Okay. Because like there's a time and a place for that. Okay. But that kind of thinking on a 24/7 basis, or that kind of thinking in a relationship, doesn't always necessarily work. People want somebody they can relate to. They want somebody that they can open up to. Some of you, it can also be that you keep jumping into relationships with unserious people, or you keep talking to unserious people because you want to play small in your relationships. It's like maybe everything else is kind of working out in your life, but when it comes to your relationships, you're not making the right decisions, or you're not being accountable for yourself. You're not being honest with yourself, maybe about what you actually want. If you want to fix this, then you got to figure out why you're breaking your own heart, or why there's a fear, or why do you keep surrounding yourself with certain kinds of people, or talking to certain kind of people where like it's not going to go anywhere. Is that your safety net? Is it like just kind of careless and free? Is it, what is it? So let's see your way out of this. Page of Swords. Feel like this is about to broaden your thinking a little bit. Chariot reversed. The Ace of Cups. The Ace of Wands reverse. Um, you got to stop killing your potential by either surrounding yourself with low vibrational people, or maybe sticking it where it doesn't belong, or surrounding yourself with unmotivated people, or maybe you're really wanting love, so you're looking for intimacy through pornography, or you're looking for intimacy through just sex and having meaningless sex with people or whatever, and it's like it's not actually getting you what you want. It's getting you the opposite of what you want. And so it's about needing to be open-minded on how you can change this, but also being accountable with yourself and where that's coming from. Tell me about that Chariot reverse. The Eight of Swords. Yeah, I feel like you need to be more open-minded and curious about how you can learn how to be more vulnerable. Tell me about that Ace of Wands reversed. Damn. Yeah, it's that detachment again. There's nothing wrong with Aries, okay? Nothing wrong with Aries. Nothing wrong with the Emperor, but the Emperor tends to detach. He's not really emotionally in it. And this is the thing, right? And it's so funny because I was just talking to Sagittarius about this. Um, the Empress, right? The Empress in tarot, she's all of the queens combined. She's all four of the queens combined. The Emperor is all four of the kings, right? Now you have two kings here. So you have the King of Swords and the King of Pentacles. Great. Nothing wrong with those two, right? But where is the King of Wands? Where's the King of Cups, where you lead with not just passion, but true, honest to God leadership, and a sense of childlike wonder, and your emotionality, your vulnerability, where you hold space for others' emotions. Because I feel like that's a big part of it, Leo. So, Leo, that is what I have for you. Thank you guys so much. I hope you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you would like to book a personal reading, you can do so at violettaalexis.com. If you would like to check out my poetry channel, go ahead and find me, Where Dead Flowers Bloom. All of that information is in the description box below. Thanks a lot, Leo, and obviously, best of luck to you. Bye for now.